Here we go. Baby Bieber, Facebook, braces, and the one and only Aeropostale. These are all things that describe one not so bright times of our lives. I like to call it the Britney in 2007 stage. 7th grade. Let's take a moment to reflect on these glory days of middle school. That haircut, right? Yeah. 7th grade to me was more than screaming "Someone Like You" in the car, thanks Adele for releasing that awesome album, and still not knowing exactly when to use the restroom. 7th grade was lit. And I mean literally lit, because my house burned down. I know, right? That's a good one. So, sounds like story time to me. At about 3 in the morning, I woke up to my stepdad yelling in the kitchen, which I don't know about you, but that doesn't usually happen at that hour, so I might have been a little freaked out. I ran, as good as running could get for 7th grade, rather chubbier Cassidy. Seriously, you should check out my mom's Facebook. To the kitchen, where I saw my stepdad staring at the microwave. This was not the stare you give your ramen noodles when they boil over, okay? This was the stare you give your Hot Pocket when it, explodes. Hashtag the struggle. Now, turns out my stepdad was not making me a very early morning snack of pizza rolls, unfortunately. My microwave was on fire. Yeah, that was rough. So we tried to put the fire out with whatever fire-terminating materials we had on hand, water, flour, etc., you know. And that didn't really help. So I stuck my head out the back door to see if the fire was spreading on the roof. And like any good story, of course it was. So my mom told me to call 911. It was terrifying. I don't know about you, but it was my 7th grade worst nightmare to talk to a stranger on the phone. I think we've all been there, okay? Who even cares about the fire at this point? But I called after some arguing, and I was all, or they were all, 911, what's your emergency? And then I gave the whole, my house is kind of on fire. And they were like, kind of on fire? And I was just like, oh no, yeah, it's definitely on fire. And the fire department took forever, of course, which gave me some time to grab the 3 things I have always said I would grab in the, if your house is on fire, what would you get game? JK. That is totally not what crosses your mind when trying to evacuate a burning building. But thankfully, I grabbed my backpack. So I could do my homework while I wasn't even wearing shoes. 7th grade logic. That's the beta way, am I right? I'm winking at you, Bob Wright. You know what I'm talking about? And then my family and I had a brilliant thought. We're standing in the doorway of my living room, okay? Doorway attached to my living room, I guess would make more sense. And we had a pretty nice TV, and it's just sitting there staring at us as we wish farewell to my childhood home. And it's just screaming, save me, save me. So my stepdad turns to my brother and says, you get one and I get the other. Might I remind you, my house is still on fire. True story. So, after that happened, we realized a house isn't much of a home without a TV. However, a TV without a house is still a fully functioning TV. And they carried it out. The things among our possession being my mom's contacts, maybe a couple pictures, my backpack, my dog, and a 62-inch flat screen. Yeah, it was a rough time. You may be wondering what the point of this story is, and thank you all for laughing at my tragedy. I know, it's hilarious. It was lit. But the point of my fire story, get it? Fire story, must have forgot my mixtape, is that you have to make light out of every situation. You have to take the good and the bad hand in hand and decide how you want to handle it. It was hard to tell my story at first. Obviously, I mean, my house kind of burned to the ground, but I learned to deal with it, because that was God's plan for me. And honestly, I'm kind of glad God's plan for me was super heated. Another fire pun. So basically what I'm trying to say is no matter what happens, it's your attitude that determines the outcome. You have to take everything on with some jokes and a smile, and everything will be just fine. Thanks and reckle.